This comment from Shrija got me thinking. And I knew I had to make a video about it. I love making videos based on your comments, so keep them coming. And if you ever want your comment featured, just drop one below. Who knows, the next video could be inspired by you. Now let's get into it.
What if I told you that a sage once had the power to command the great god Shiva himself? That he had the ability to dictate when the divine dance of the universe, the Tandava, should begin and end? Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is the story of a man so devoted that even the gods had to take notice. And yet, he was punished for that very devotion. How? Why? Stay with me till the end to find out. In the sacred scriptures of Hinduism, there exists a fascinating tale of devotion, stubbornness, and divine intervention. A tale that begins with a sage named Rishi Bringi. Unlike any other devotee, Bringi's allegiance was absolute, unwavering, and singular. His devotion to Bhagwan Shiva was so intense that nothing, absolutely nothing, could come between him and his lord. But therein lay the problem. Every day, Rishi Bringi performed his rituals, worshipping Shiva with unparalleled fervor. But there was one thing he refused to accept: the presence of Devi Parvati. Despite being Shiva's divine consort, to Bringi, she was an unnecessary addition. His devotion was for Lord Shiva alone. But devotion without understanding can lead to consequences. Consequences that Bringi would soon face. One day, as he performed his usual pradakshina, the sacred act of circling the deity, Parvati decided to test him. She sat close to Shiva, ensuring that if Bringi were to circumambulate Shiva, he would have to acknowledge her too. But Bringi, he had other plans. He transformed into a tiny bee and buzzed his way around Shiva alone, completely ignoring the presence of the divine feminine energy. This defiance could not go unnoticed. Offended by his rejection, Devi Parvati placed a curse upon Bringi. He would lose all feminine energy within him. It was a curse unlike any other. His flesh and blood, which were gifts of the feminine energy, were stripped away, leaving him as nothing more than a skeletal figure. Weak and unable to stand, Bringi's devotion had cost him dearly. But Shiva is not just the god of destruction. He is also the god of compassion. Moved by Bringi's suffering, he granted him a third leg, allowing him to stand again. A physical symbol of divine intervention, a reminder of both his devotion and his punishment. But the lesson was not over yet. The divine couple decided to teach Bringi an ultimate truth, that Shiva and Shakti are inseparable. To prove this, they merged into Ardhanaraswara, the perfect union of masculine and feminine energy. Now, if Bringi wanted to worship Shiva, he had no choice but to acknowledge Parvati as well. It was the ultimate divine challenge. But did Bringi surrender? No. His resolve was unshaken. He found a loophole. If he couldn't circle Shiva alone, he would drill a hole right through the middle, ensuring he still only worshipped Shiva. Such was his devotion, his single-minded focus. And what did Parvati do? She didn't curse him again. Instead, she accepted his devotion, recognizing the depth of his sincerity. And in that moment, Bringi's path was acknowledged as valid, despite its differences. But wait, this is not where Bringi's story ends. His role in the divine order was far greater. In fact, did you know that this very same sage had the power to instruct Shiva himself? Yes. Bringi wasn't just a devotee, he was given the power to dictate when Shiva could begin and end his Ananda Tandava, the cosmic dance of bliss. Imagine that, the very force that controls the cycles of creation and destruction, taking orders from a devotee. This was a testament to the power of true devotion. Even Adi Shankaracharya, the great philosopher, acknowledged Bringi's importance in his Shivananda Lahari, saying,
Bhringishcha natanotsukah karakamalagrahi spharan madhavaha,
which translates to, Bringi, the one who commands Shiva during the Tandava dance. His devotion was so unwavering that even the great destroyer of the universe respected his will. So, what does this tale of Rishi Bringi teach us? That devotion takes many forms. That the divine recognizes sincerity, even in stubbornness. That no matter how different the paths to divinity may seem, the ultimate truth remains the same. The journey of Rishi Bringi, from a bee to a beetle, from a skeletal form to divine acceptance, reminds us that faith, when true, is always rewarded. And perhaps, most importantly, that even the gods listen to their devotees. So tell me, what do you think? Was Rishi Bringi right in his devotion? Or was his lesson necessary? Comment below and let's see if you knew about this timeless tale.